My name is James Garrett. I am currently a master's student at Clark Atlanta University. I'm getting my master's in social work. I also graduated from Morehouse College in 2018 with a bachelor's in psychology. I wish I was part of that 2019 class. My brand is I'm a barber. So, when did you begin? That kind of goes into the story. I started cutting hair when I was a freshman at Morehouse. I lived in Whitehall. Of course, you new to college, you want to make some money. Those are my reasons. I always, was a hustler in grade school, so I wanted to continue to make my own money in college. So, what better place to start? I live in a building. I live on a campus full of just men, so it only made sense. I started off cutting my own hair when I was in high school. I was in ROTC, so I needed it because I always had something to do that I had to be prepared for. So once I made it to college, that's how I took it serious once I made it to college. There were a lot of guys that I went to Morehouse with, well, a few guys in particular that kind of, pushed me to keep going forward and, taking myself serious, and, that's how it all started. What inspired me to do what I do? At first, it started off with me just wanting to have control of my appearance. Growing up, sometimes we didn't have enough money to pay for haircuts. So, it sucks going to school and your mom gave you a bald head and you keep getting smacked in the back of the head all day. So, me learning how to cut my own hair just gave me control. Somebody, won't mention any names, they also were able to cut hair, but they kind of used that as leverage once things went sour, and they tried to, use it against me. I didn't have the skill at the time, so, that was just something that they used to, try to keep leverage over my head. And he also told me I couldn't do it, and I take what's the word? I use that as a challenge. When people tell me I can't do anything, I try to follow through with that. Now, currently, again, I'm getting my master's in social work, so I would like to merge counseling and therapy with barbering. I feel that a lot of black men in particular, we see the barbershop as a place of relief, and we see the barbershop as a way to, just unwind and get away from the rest of the world. We have a lot going on, a lot that we're up against as far as, police brutality, family issues, systematic problems that, we combat every day. And the one place we get relief is the barbershop. It's not necessarily a formal place, but it's ours, and it's been ours for years. I would like to implement a service where, we offer counseling service, professional counseling services to black men and boys in particular. So, we can just debunk the narrative that counseling is just for white people, or, we black people, we supposed to, just keep moving forward and not talk about some of the things that we go through, because, essentially we all go through a lot of the same things. So what better way than to find relief is to put yourself in a situation where, you're already comfortable in the barbershop, so why not have a professional counselor or therapist, cut your hair as well as give you some guidance throughout life, and you can, bounce ideas off of each other and things like that. I'd like to have, if there's I like for it to be a group setting, but, for those who want private services, I plan on having, a private area for those individuals. So yeah, that's me. That's my talent. That's my art. That's my gift. I taught myself. I'm willing to teach anybody else who, wants to learn. YouTube videos taught me everything. So if you also have an interest in barbering, you can reach out, or, utilize your resources. You got Instagram, YouTube, you can literally do anything with the internet nowadays. So definitely make that happen. I appreciate you, Wesley, for this platform, and you, brother, you're going to do some great things, man.
Hi, my name is Atiyah Z. I go to Spelman College, and I am a poet slash writer. You can also tell that I'm very silly. Fun fact. When I first started writing was back in like 2007, I would say. It's like 5th grade. So long ago. That's when I first started writing short stories. But I didn't really quite continue writing short stories until about high school, sometime in high school. And as for poetry, I started in 6th grade, and just fell in love with it. Also, fun fact, I write song lyrics, and I started writing just randomly in 6th grade. This was like, if these famous artists can do it, let me just try. I don't know. I honestly don't know what made me start writing song lyrics. It was just a random thing that I decided to do. Not a lot of people know that I write song lyrics, so you're welcome. What inspired me to do all this was high school. It was like the summer before sophomore year. My high school has this summer program to help students like transition from one grade to another, from like middle school to high school and whatever. Something interesting to do during the summer that like helps you advance within your high school life. I don't know if it's still called Metavasi or not, but that doesn't matter right now. So I was in a Metavasi, and we were doing this poetry class with Carla Brundage. Shouts Carla. She doesn't work there anymore, but she's like one of my favorite teachers there. She had us do write this poem about the rebel in us. And somehow the dance teacher, Laura Ellis, shouts Laura Ellis, she got a hold of my poem and she loved it. And she was like, we should collaborate on a dance to this poem together. You'll read it. My students will dance to it. It'll be awesome. And it was. Actually had like one of my teachers like come up to me, just like repeat a line from the poem because like he loved it so much. And then she commissioned me to write one for another dance collaboration about gun violence in America. That was like my senior year. And that one also picked up a bit of buzz, enough that I was interviewed for the school magazine. And it was just like so inspiring and encouraging to know that people like were entertained, informed, and just outright loved it. Like my work could do all that. And so that encouraged me to go, let me try to make a career out of this. Because it was something I loved to do and it was something I was good at. And I don't have a career yet, but I'm still writing, so I'm still enjoying life. And people are still like curious and entertained. Nobody knows about the song lyrics, and nobody probably will, but we'll see about that part. We'll see. Anyway, this is me. You're welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Brett Austin Johnson. I am a graduating senior from Morehouse College, and I am an actor. It's kind of cool to be able to like stop, take a second, pause, and think about some of the things that have led me to this point. You know, with things kind of wrapping up, I don't know. It's like a weird question because when I think back to the journey, I like think that it's like a straight, you know, has been a straight and narrow path, but when I actually like take the second to go back and look at every particular scenario that's led me here, it's been such a winding road of particular events and particular people like supporting me. And it's like, oh, I very easily could not have made it here. I've got some show and tell. This is my very first headshot. A really cool thing that I like to keep because it lets me know that from this guy to this guy, so many, you know, adversities, so many opportunities, so many missed opportunities, and just life that from this guy to the next guy is going to be maybe 2-3 times that. So if I can make it from that guy to the guy that I am today, it's like I can, you know, I can keep going, at least try. I think I was 3 years old here. Wow. Damn, time flies. I remember actually going into my very first meeting, and it's so funny because it's just a memory for me, but when my mom fills in the blanks, that was the first time she took me out of kindergarten at the end of the day one day to meet my very first agent, Linda Townsend, and I just was on my best behavior, and somehow I was just so calm that day. She said that I knew that it was a professional meeting and that I just adapted to that environment very well. All those auditions and acting workshops and moments later, I'm now the person that's like, I get very inspired by the work that I do. There's just, I've never not done it. The only thing that'll be different from graduating to what comes next is the fact that school won't be there, because I've always had school and I've always had acting, and now I'm not necessarily going to have school, so it's going to be weird to just focus on the acting and sort of manage my own time, because I think when you're in school you have a schedule, you have people that check in with you. What do you do when you have to like manage yourself? We're going to find out. I'm going to be all right. I hope so. When I think about sort of all the things that keep me going through the industry, people ask, like, how do you audition week after week, you know, and the majority, maybe 95% of the things you audition for, you do not get. What keeps you going? I genuinely enjoy, and I tell them this all the time, auditioning. You get to work on a character, you get to take a piece of material and workshop it, put your soul into it, and then send it off to have it be viewed by industry executives. They're casting directors, they're showing it to directors, they're showing it to producers, and sometimes they're showing it to other actors that are involved in the casting process. And it's just, you're performing for people. That itself is performing. I get inspired by the business side of things, where you get to learn how to communicate with people, how to sell yourself, how to make sure that you go into a situation knowing who's in the room, who exactly those people are, what they do, what they're connected with, because usually when you're auditioning, you're not auditioning for that particular project that you're going in for. You're auditioning for whatever project a month, 2 months later, that person that sees you is casting and working on. Because if you do what you're supposed to do in that room, which is to wow their socks off, then they will remember you for that. All of those things, the traveling, the hotel logistics, the figuring out how to email the right person so that you don't have to pay for your skincare that is very expensive, and have them instead send it to you for free so you can, you know, barter, you know, I'll post on social media for you for this product if you send me this regimen, or if you send me this product or this piece of clothing. All of that is learning how to hustle. And I think when it comes down to it, I genuinely enjoy hustling. looking good while doing it, and spreading as much love and positivity in the Black community and in the international community as I possibly can. I'm laughing because I have an audition right now that I'm procrastinating, and it's quite a chunk of lines that I have to learn, and I should probably start that, but damn it, man. It's always hard to get started, but I can do it because I've done it before. All right, here we go.
What's up, viewers of the world? My name is Anah. I am 22 years old and a graduate of Spelman College. My platform is A Voice for the Unheard. It is my podcast, and I do both video and audio podcasts, so it's available on all platforms. And I started it in September of 2019. The initial idea came from one of my really good friends who basically just told me that my voice sounds like something that you would hear on a podcast. So I just took that idea and ran with it, and so now we're here. And essentially, I just try to target people who consider themselves to be weirdos, outcasts, or out-of-the-box thinkers, and really are trying to expand their mentality and growth and just be authentic in themselves. So I hope to see you all there, and other than that, much love to you all. Peace and love.
What's poppin', family? My name is Xavier Brandon. I also go by X or Professor X. I hail from the great city of Charlotte, North Carolina by way of Brooklyn, New York. I represent Morehouse College class of 2010 Bachelor of Science of Computer Science. I do a lot of different things. I am a speaker, I'm a minister, a pastor, I am a DJ, I'm a radio producer for V103. I host a podcast called the Crowns Up Podcast, where we talk about hip hop, faith, and culture. I am a lyricist, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a leader, I'm an activist, I'm a revolutionary. I'm a lot of things. What got me into it? Really, the Lord, Jesus of Nazareth. Really, God called me to be a minister and a preacher at a very young age, and I ran from that calling for a long time. And within growing up, I've always had a knack for music. I've always had a passion for hip hop, and I've always had a passion for faith. So somehow in between all of those things, I've got into the field of, again, being a radio producer for Larry Tinsley, who is the gospel person at V103, the People's Station, #1 station in the city of Atlanta. And I got into DJing because it was something I always wanted to do. I got into speaking because I talk a lot, and people always had me speaking in different places, especially growing up in church. Hip hop and music was always something in me. My godfather was Italian, and he would have a whole bunch of records playing, especially like Gladys Knight and the Pips, Diana Ross and Supremes, Frankie Lyman and Teenagers, and Michael Jackson and Jackson 5. And that really got me into music, and hip hop was just something that was around. Of course, when you're in Brooklyn, New York, you know, it's, the mecca, you know, of hip hop is in New York. So I definitely was infused by that. Why do I do it? I think because I believe there's a group of people who need to know that it's okay for them to live their faith out loud, and it's okay for them to be weird. It's okay for them to think that, to be their whole selves. It's okay for them to be free and be themselves. And I believe that music is a universal language that can help and touch a lot of people. And so a lot of people enjoy, or they listen to, or they watch entertainment. And so I think if you can infuse music, hip hop, faith, culture into the lives of young people, millennials, young adults, and even older people, you could change the world. You can revolutionize things. You can really touch and impact people. So that's why I do what I do. I've been speaking all my life. I've been rapping since I was 12. I've been a radio producer for about a year now. I've been DJing for about 2 years. I've been impacting lives of people my whole life. So that's why I do what I do. You can follow me at Profezzor X, that's PROFEZZORX, on all social media. Follow the Crowns Up podcast at Crowns Up Pod, that's CROWNSUPPOD. And anything else you need to know, you can follow me, hit me up, DM me. I'm real easy to get to, and I'll get you whatever information you need. So I appreciate you. Thanks for checking in. As always, keep your crowns up. Be blessed.
It's payday, fella.